This is a pretty nuts news update. There is currently a glitch in the game that's causing items to duplicate and the economy to crash. There is also some issues with gate guns, and the people, are actually voting to change the way the autopilot system works through null and low sec. So you guys have a chance to have massive change into the game implementation. On top of that, 30-day login rewards have been revealed, and there's a new customer service support system. So I'm going to go over all these things and tell you all the info you need to be informed so you don't have to go looking for it. Welcome to another eValKuest videos. Let's get right into it. There's a new 30-day login calendar coming. It's going to come this week after the next maintenance. So when you log back in after a maintenance, expect a new 30-day. What we can see here from the 30-day is it looks like some blueprints, a little bit of ore, and then I see some missions, which is interesting. 10x of an Amar mission. So if that's true and it's Amar for everybody, I would be careful, because until you see the new update for the guns, which we're going to talk about soon, not all space is safe. People can still attack you unless it's 100% high sec. So if this is a low sec mission, there's probably going to be a lot of people camping that, I can imagine. Now what we have next is 10 ships. I can't really tell what these 10 ships are. I asked, they didn't say. I'm not sure. I can't really see that. If someone can see what that is from here, let me know. I think it might be a battle cruiser, maybe. It kind of looks like a battle cruiser. It might be, since we all hit Tech 7 recently. And then here it shows X10 of some meadows. I'm assuming the 10 isn't the correct amount of meadows. They're probably not showing you guys how much meadows and construction blocks, and these are NOS is what these are. So these are for drains. So we're going to get some drain rigs. They're probably not showing us all the fuel amounts and everything, just because they're really, really big about not influencing the economy. But kind of looks like more focused towards the industrial side of things, and maybe missions / things that are now available for people who are set up. Okay, so it looks like this next 30 days isn't just going to be skill point spam and some basic beginner vouchers. It might actually be things we can use. So that's pretty exciting. I'm glad we're getting another 30-day login. Let's go ahead and move into the next point of news now. Okay, so if you haven't seen this yet, this is basically a questionnaire. This is for the AutoPilot solution questionnaire. So what this is effectively, I'm just going to break it down for you so you don't have to read all this and you can understand what's going on. Right now in low sec basically is the major problem. So in low sec currently, what can happen is, you know how you have those turrets, right? And those turrets will shoot people that have combat timers. That way it's kind of like a balance. You can fight people, outside the gates, but you go to the gates, you blow up, right? Well, currently this can be cheesed basically, because all you have to do is fit a frigate fast enough and have that frigate get attacked by that turret, and the turret will never switch targets. And on top of it, the frigate is so fast if you orbit close enough to the turret that the turret can't even hit it. So if you have two frigates on these, these two guns, basically the guns aren't there. So what this happens is you can just take some alts, right, and just AFK on top of the guns and have the guns effectively just not be there for the low sec, okay? So when this happens, obviously you have other people there within the same corp or whatever, and they can freely attack people coming and going from this gate. This is why if you've autopiloted through low sec recently, maybe turned your phone off because you thought you were good, and you came back to being blown up, that's why, okay? And now speaking of kind of these reasons, also, we got to talk about the solutions, okay? So if you look here, they're going to have us vote between 3 different options. Now, none of these 3 options are perfect systems. The first one is effectively no change at all to the system. In my personal opinion, you should vote whatever you believe. If you're asking what I believe, it's that we shouldn't be able to cheese the turrets is what I'm concerned about, okay? I don't understand why they're bringing nullsec into this conversation. I don't believe currently nullsec is a problem. Me and my corporation, we live out of nullsec. I have like 1,000 people or more in our alliance, plus we have like 300 or 400 other corporations in our mega alliance that are all in there. And I haven't seen any problem with nullsec personally. I mean, we've been ganked by other mega corporations. We've blown up. We've lost miners. We've lost PvPers. But I don't see a cheese. It's just a big Wild West in nullsec. If people are there, they'll kill you. If they're not there, they won't kill you. I don't see why we need to get Concord or the government or whatever hands in the cookie jar with nullsec. It's just a big Wild West. Bigger the better. The more people you have, you'll win, all that yada yada, okay? So the first one here is that nullsec itself and lowsec which will stay the same. I don't believe this should be the option as lowsec is a problem. Okay, number 2 is increase the power and range of the lowsec system stargates and enable the stargates to disrupt warp. Criminals can't jump. Basically, the stargate, the guns themselves that are being camped currently, they're being, speed tanked. Those will warp disrupt people and make it where they can't warp out. Okay, there we go. There is a price to attacking other players, and the only boldest, craziest pilots would be considered attacking other players. We'll also optimize the ability for space stations to protect as well. So the power and range of it, etc. Basically, they're saying, okay, we're going to start popping these. So we're going to start making it blow up people quicker, or maybe even change the priority of these where it attacks people that have higher value type shits. They've mentioned that as well. There's been other things they've mentioned in the content creator chat, like allowing manual priority through space stations and stuff. They mentioned that briefly here too. So we're trying to kind of figure out where the healthy medium is. And now there's an option 3, okay, which is based on option 2. In the future, a sovereign will be able to choose what type of guns a no-sec Stargate has. Enhance overall security near Stargates by further enhancing the firepower of gate guns. Includes high, low, and no-sec systems. These changes will enable the surrounding areas around Stargates to become safe zones. PvP still not allowed in high-sec. For this, however, gate guns near no-sec systems require the sovereign's installation after our sovereignty update is released. AKA... let's break down all 3 options now again, make it simple. AKA option 3 is basically just you can now have low-sec gate guns built by corporations or alliances within nullsec around the gates. And also they'll update the gate guns to be better like option 2. So if you feel like you're happy with the game as it is, cheesing's part of the game, exploiting the turrets is part of the game, then you vote option 1. If you believe that the turrets are the biggest problem, that you want low sec to be low security, not no security, and you want the guns to be stronger so that this issue doesn't happen, you vote on number 2. If you believe, in addition to that, no sec should also be safer, mostly for autopiloting reasons. Because the reason, again, this form happened is we got people blowing up their autopiloting to and from both low and no sec and getting very upset about it. So if you option 3, you want nullsec to be much safer, including safe at the warp in zones, and you believe that is the best for the health of the game, you would vote option 3. Do not vote the option I am going to vote, and do not vote the option people tell you to vote. Vote the option that you believe is going to make your gameplay. It's a mobile game when I say gameplay instead of gameplay. Make your gameplay experience better. And of course, that third portion of news has to do with their customer service system. If you guys are aware, the customer service currently within Eve Echoes is not a perfect system. It's actually quite clunky. Sometimes they'll reward you for losses of your ships if it happens to do the bug. Sometimes they won't. If you wait too long to respond to it, if you go camping or something, they can just close down the ticket. They do try, but the in-game tickets haven't been perfect yet. So what they're doing here is they have implemented some Discord assistance, some customer service basically, and they have that guy's name there, and they have his hours, which are, it looks like 0 UTC to 16 UTC, 7 days a week. They have some customer service there working. So you can get pretty good chunk of the time. I mean, 66% of the time they have some customer service live for you. I guarantee they're going to get flooded on the Discord. But if you need, for some reason, for an emergency to get hold of customer assistance, that would be another way to do it through the Discord. Okay, so now that we got those updates out of the way, I kind of want to talk about one other big piece of news that hasn't really been announced or whatever in the game. You guys could probably have seen it on Reddit earlier, and then it got deleted because I don't think the person realized people were going to try to figure out how it's done, and he probably didn't want other people figuring this out. There's a dupe exploit in the game currently that will allow items to be just straight up duplicated, that will allow any range of things to be duplicated, basically, that will fit within containers. And without going into detail, I don't know how to do this. Unfortunately, I've actually been trying to figure it out, because then I can post a video of it in the content creator chat showing exactly how to do it and kind of forcing the hand of CCP to fix this. I guarantee they're going to want to fix this. I would be surprised if they just allow an economy to be duplicated. Any other game like Old School RuneScape, Marvel Strike Force, other types of games, when there is duplicate economic impact glitches, they actually roll back. I don't think this is a game which they can do a rollback, and economic impact has a lot of ISK sinks. Basically, a lot of money does get degenerated out of the game by built-in systems. But even with that, the economy here is and probably continue to will be heavily affected by these type of duplicates. With that being said, if ISK is going to be inflated, until these duplicates get solved, I would probably be purchasing Plex, as I have always been, as people who are duplicating and have AKA infinite amounts of ISK are probably going to find things to spend on it, and I'm assuming they're just going to drive up the Plex market insanely. For that reason, I'll be buying Plex as much as I can, just to try to profit off the way this economy is going to be going. I suggest the same thing, and hopefully we'll see an update soon saying exactly that this has been fixed, and we'll get some news from CCP on whether this is allowed, not allowed, what the plan is on that, etc. As it stands of the recording of this video, I do not have that announcement in my hands or behind the scenes that I can share, and we are still kind of waiting on their response. And that's going to wrap it up for Eve Echo's news update today. If you would like to see more news updates, consider subscribing or leaving a comment to let me know this, or you can just like the video. That's an easy way to do that as well. I love you all. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.